Alright, guys, welcome back. I'm doing another one of those Am I the Asshole with some commentary, with some gameplay. Not commentary, because I'm commentating. So dumb. With some gameplay in the background. I hope you enjoy my BTD 6 custom zombies map on Black Ops 3. It was low-key kind of fun, not gonna lie. Anyway, let's get into it with our first story. Actually, I don't know what I said, but it's not Am I the Asshole? We're doing r/slash relationship advice. I wanted to change it up. We're gonna do something a little bit different. I'm trying to get better at uploading. I'm terrible. I know. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I promise. I would say I have too much to do, but I don't. I'm lazy sometimes. But let's go ahead and get into the first one. My fiance and I have been together for about 3.5 years and are supposed to be married in less than 6 months. I love him so much, and genuinely, about 90% of our relationship is amazing. Okay. We're best friends, we're happy together, and I've always pictured my future with him. That's what makes this so difficult. Huh. The other 10% is becoming something I'm scared I can't deal with forever. Oof, that's tough. My fiance has a temper and gets irritated pretty easily. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. He gots to go. My fiance has he can get an aggressive tone, snap at me, or raise his voice when he's angry. It's pretty. I mean, okay, let's continue. The biggest issue for me is what happens when I try to address it. If he's still angry and I tell him that the way he spoke to me hurt me, he often gets defensive, says I'm making it into a bigger deal than it is, or blames his reaction or on me being annoying. That's pretty fucked up. Drop him. He gots to go. Once he completely calms down, he will usually feel bad and apologize. There have been times when he has taken genuine accountability and told me that the way he acted wasn't okay. But why hasn't it been fixed? Why hasn't the issue been fixed? After the last incident, I started seriously questioning things. I didn't tell him for over a week because I honestly didn't want to feel this way and hoped the doubts would go away. They didn't. Of course they're not. This is a hard thing to like deal with. Like I understand where like she's coming from. Like as a person who barely gets mad, takes a lot for me to get upset. Very very upset. It takes a lot for me to even raise my voice. It's very rare. Now, when it comes to gaming, that's a different story. I will yell and I will throw a little bitch fit because that's like gaming is like how I guess my anger out. Like when I get mad at my game, yeah, I'm getting super upset and super pissed off. But like once I'm off, like then I'm normal. I don't really like yelling. I don't yell often. It's very rare. But once I get once I get to like once I've really like I've had like my lever has broken or levee has broken and the water is spilling over, that's when I start yelling. But even at that, I don't even yell that much. So I could understand where she's coming from, like with like the way he acts. Like he's even understandful. He understands that he's not in the right. That he's like the way he acts sometimes is pretty messed up. He gets that, but then he goes back to doing it like the next day or the next week or whatever. When the next time he gets upset, I don't. One of the things that I've never like understood is people who have like shut such a short burst and get like upset super duper fast. Because I'm like, dude, the world is like just on a day to day. I mean I get everybody gets upset, but on a day to day, like you're gonna get upset driving, you're gonna get upset going to Target or Walmart or an HEB or wherever you're gonna go, you're gonna get upset because somebody's gonna do something that's gonna piss you off. That's just how it is. But like if you have a short like temper, like I would assume like in public you aren't able to control it. Like if you aren't able to control it with your girlfriend or fiance or wife, how are you able to control it like in person? It doesn't make sense. And then also think about it like if he has kids, like if y'all were to have kids, like oh my god, I'd feel bad for those kids because then like I have two kids, right? And yeah, they're very young. I have one that's 5 months, and I was 6 years old. And so like there's times I do get frustrated. Like with my 6 year old, I could get frustrated. I get upset. But again, it takes a lot, you know. And so like, but even at that, kids are they're not easy. They're gonna make you frustrated. You're gonna be very sleep deprived, especially like with newborns and stuff. So like, if he has a short burst temper now, like imagine when like you have kids and he has to take care of them. Imagine his temper then. I don't know. Doesn't seem right to me. Anyway, let's continue. Tonight we finally had a very difficult and honest conversation. I told him I love him and that 90% of our relationship feels perfect. But I can't go into forever knowing that this other 10% could continue indefinitely. See, I wouldn't call it 10%. Like that's a pretty big thing. That is at least half. Like like at least from what I'm reading and I'm understanding, he has a short temper. That means anything pisses him off, basically. It means you get pissed off like that. Like what? Like almost like bipolar. Like, oh, I'm happy, and then oh fuck, ruin my day. I'm pissed. Leave me alone. You know. So like, I don't really see it as a 10%. I see it as like 90. Like I see that as a 50%. You know. Anyway, he said his current job is extremely stressful, and that the stress is making him angry and spilling over into our relationship. But that's a thing. That's a thing. That's a him issue. That is a him issue. That he shouldn't be taking out on his relationship. Like that's very very wrong. No matter what, no matter how stressful of a job you have. I mean, people have stressful jobs and they do just fine. Can't use that. That's just an excuse. That's a crutch. He believes he'll be better once this job is finished. The problem is that I've seen versions of this behavior long before he had this particular job, which I told him, He has taken anxiety medication in the past that he says helps him regulate his emotions, and he told me tonight that he is going to get back on it. I brought up therapy as well. He initially got angry because he told me that if therapy was a deal breaker, I should leave him because he wasn't going. Later, when we were calmer, I asked him if the medications doesn't fix this, would you really refuse therapy even if it meant losing me? He said, of course, that he would go in that situation, but it shouldn't come to that because we're not even married yet. Another thing that scares me is having children eventually. I told him that kids are going to be indefinitely more annoying and overstimulated than ever could be. Yes, they will. And he can't lose his temper on them because they're annoying him. He can't. He can't. Unfortunately, you can't just, flip out on, kids. They don't know any better. They're still learning. They're still very young. Their brains are not developed, 100%. They're still developing everything that they need. So he can't really flip out. He said that he isn't thinking about kids for another few years, and I told him I'm not either, but I'm thinking about marrying him in 6 months, and those are things I need to consider before I marry someone. Exactly, yes, if you want children, yes. 100%. 100%. He asked what we're supposed to do about the wedding. I told him, honestly, I don't know. As painful as it is, I've decided to stop actively planning for now while I figure out how I feel. I haven't canceled anything and we haven't broken up. I told him that unfortunately I can't just believe promises that it'll get better anymore. I need to see actual change. I 100% agree. He's very upset after the conversation, and so am I. Neither of us wants to lose each other. I don't want to leave him. The thought of losing him is devastating, but I'm also scared of marrying someone while knowing there's a conflict pattern that already makes me that already makes me this unhappy when it happens. I think what I'm struggling with most is figuring out whether this is a serious relationship problem that I'm what the heck that I'm right to pause a wedding over, or whether I'm getting cold feet and hyper analyzing the bad moments because the marriage suddenly feels very real. Um in my opinion, no, I don't think you're getting cold feet or hyper analyzing the bad moments because the marriage is getting closer and closer. I think you're kind of starting to realize a pattern that is very, very toxic and very, very bad. I mean, I'm hoping that he gets the help. I hope that he got the help. This is 9 hours ago. This was plus 9 hours ago from right now, from when I'm recording this. So I'm hoping that he is willing to get the help that he needs, not for just you, but for, your possibly future children if y'all have any. I mean, it's a big thing. It's a big thing, you know. It's a big thing, and I think that he definitely needs to get he needs to get help. It's very not. What do I say? It's very not. Can't think of the word. It's very not healthy. Jesus, I don't know why it took me forever to think of the word, but it's not healthy. What he's doing, how he's acting, getting angry. If you're how old is it? They're 27. They're both 27. You're a 27-year-old and you're flipping out over your waffles not being cooked right, bro. You're a grown man. Why are you having a temper tantrum? Like, grow the fuck up. And it's actually insane to me that people throw temper tantrums at like 27 or my age. I understand getting upset about various things makes sense. I get upset too, but to throw a temper tantrum, jeez, bro, it's insane to me. I don't think there's anything like this was 9 hours ago, so there's a bunch of people talking. But I would say definitely don't marry that guy. Not worth it. Do not do it. Okay, let's get into our next story. Um, my 21 male, my girlfriend's. I don't know. My girlfriend's best friend keeps suggesting to join us in bed. How do I approach this? Okay, let's get into this. Interesting. So I've been living with my girlfriend for a little over a month now. 3 weeks ago, she went to some theater with her best friend, and ever since that, best friend keeps suggesting a threesome with me, my girlfriend, and her. Interesting. Okay. Now, I have to say that I don't know her very well. I really only know her name, roughly where she lives, and that she's been my girlfriend's best friend since elementary school. The thing is that I'm just not really interested. I'm not even sure if I'd see it as cheating in a way, yet the topic keeps popping up. Whenever I hear my girlfriend talking to her, she brings it up. When she's hanging out with her, my girlfriend tells me that she brought it up. When we're hanging out together in a group, she brings it up, even when others are present. That is ballsy. Even when other people are present. To make one thing clear, I did ask my girlfriend what's up with all of this, and she says it's fine and I should leave it be. I don't want to be rude to her best friend either. I mean, they've known each other far longer, and I don't want to make my girlfriend sad. Interesting. I have no idea what they talked about on the theater trip or whatever happened to make her this obsessed with the idea of when nothing similar came up before I started to run out of option and excuse myself from the conversation. Uh, See, you should take that as a sign that he doesn't want to have a threesome with you. So, like, just drop it. Guess not. I've never been in a similar situation. My girlfriend is my first, and I have never been intimate with anyone else. I don't know why my girlfriend is so biased about it either. She usually isn't this passive. I'm not a naive here. I must admit that, but a few Google sessions didn't suggest that this was normal and common here. I don't want to talk with friends about this either because it feels weird to talk about, at least to me. If any of you have been in such situation, what do you make of all this? What would I damage my relationship if I shut down my girlfriend's best friend? So there is an update to this, but I'm gonna put my little spin or before we even get to the update. This is a hard one because it's like I don't know, if I had a girlfriend and she had a best friend and she was hot and she wanted to have a threesome, I'd be down as long as my girlfriend was down. I would be down 100%. As long as my girlfriend was like 100% into that. But if she had like a little bit of doubts or didn't want to do it at all, I wouldn't do it at all. But I would want to, like, I guess, experience a threesome and try it once. And again, that only matters if she is attractive because, like, we don't know if she's attractive or not. Let's say she isn't. She could be ugly for all we know. So that's why he's like, nah. Because I'd assume, like, if she was hot, the boyfriend would be like, I mean, everybody's different, but, you know, if I'd assume that the boyfriend would be like, yeah, I'm fucking game. Let's fucking do it. You know, that's what I would think, at least, you know, if she was hot. But I'm assuming she's not attractive. He's not attracted to her. So that's why he doesn't entertain the idea of having a threesome with him and his girlfriend. Makes sense. But even if she is attractive and he's not into it, like he's very strictly monogamous and very only wants her, like this chick should take the hints. Like he's saying, he excuses himself from the conversation. Take the hint. Nobody brings it up. You're the only one bringing it up. Take the fucking hint. Nobody wants to have a threesome with you. Nobody wants that. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this update. So, rule suggests update. One update is fine, so here I go. I did have a good long talk with her now, and I was pretty surprised by what she told me. Apparently, when they went to the theater show, at some point, the friend asked her about the sex life that we now have since we live together. My girlfriend admitted that she did brag about me a little bit, and that got her friend's attention, as well as she had admitted that she would love a threesome. The reason she gave were apparently that, one, I'd probably love it because why wouldn't I? Exactly. Two, she, meaning the friend, hadn't had good intercourse in a long time. And three, that since they're so close friends, it wouldn't be a big deal, / nothing best friends wouldn't be able to deal with. See, I don't know. I agree, but don't agree. Like, if it's somebody that you see a future with, that you're like, I mean, y'all are moving in, so it seems pretty serious. But you see a future with, you see a potential for marriage, for children. That's a big deal. But if it's someone that you're like, you know what, like I don't really see this lasting that long. I see it only lasting like 3 or 4 months. Then yeah, that's probably why they'd have it. That's probably why they'd be okay with it. I mean, that's what I would think. I would assume like if me and my girlfriend ever, if I ever had a girlfriend that was down for a threesome, if we ever did a threesome, it'd probably be with some random chick. It wouldn't be somebody super close. Anyway, so that's what happened in the theater. She went on to tell me that she was uncomfortable with the idea, but due to their long friendship, that's where it comes. Like, you should be. I'd assume you'd be more uncomfortable because of a long friendship. Anyway, because of the long friendship, she didn't want to outright tell her friend off. I now know that her friend apparently is a pretty horrible person when it comes to getting what she wants, and leveraged the fact that she was always there for my girlfriend and apparently saved her life at some point as well. When my girlfriend told her that my initial reaction was one of confusion and disinterest, her friend began to just do that. It would be something that she owes her, etc. So emotional blackmail at this point, I'd say, wow, wow, that friend is pretty fucked up. Not gonna lie, needs to be dropped. After that, her friend told her to let her talk me into it, leave it to her to convince me, which led to the speaker mode calls and my girlfriend telling me about their conversations whenever they met. My girlfriend's confessed to me now that she felt like going against her friend's suggestion meant losing her oldest friend, and that she was just very torn emotionally about having to make such a huge change. Her thought process was about our relationship was going to survive a threesome, and her friend would just stop talking about it after, and everything would move on as normal. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I straight up told my girlfriend that her friend is emotionally abusive and manipulative 100%, that whatever good she did in the past should be appreciated but not taken as a free pass to have my girlfriend allow her friend to do whatever she wants without much resistance. Well said. Well said. I was right here with her, and that I can and will be supporting her no matter what happens, but she needs to tell her friend that she's overstepping. If she doesn't stop, she needs to cut contact with her friend. As you can imagine, it was very emotional talking. My girlfriend was crying a lot, which is really rare. We sat together for a while after that, but eventually my girlfriend took a leap, and she and I together have confronted her by now. The conversation was pretty heated. Wow, I wonder who could have expected that. And half of it would probably break guidelines, but the gist is, oh my God, is the gist of it is when my girlfriend told her friend about our sex life, that amplified an existing attraction that her friend had towards me. The part of her friend was not Not having good sex in a long time apparently wasn't a lie either. She tried to defend her actions at first, but when we told her that this had to stop, she exploded on us with a tirade of insults, emotional blackmail towards my girlfriend, and almost physical altercation between her and my girlfriend had I not kept her at a distance. Needless to say, she's now blocked on all our social media and contacts, although we decided to leave it at that, hoping that this would be the end of it. Wow. Wow. That is insane. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Wow. She, she blew up, bro. She blew up. She said, fuck it. I'm going down. You're going down with me. Jesus. Yeah, it's very good that you guys confronted her and y'all talked and y'all made sure that she knew what she was doing that was wrong, you know? Cause yeah, that was pretty wild, pretty insane, pretty good one. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, we'll make this story the last one. 49 male accused of emotional abuse by 45 female. Help me understand. Okay, let's get into this. I've been seeing a woman for several months. I had previously been in a very long term relationship, 20 plus years, whilst she had several medium to short term, between 2 years to several months, over the past few years. I have been very open about how much I feel I need to unlearn old habits and how much I need to examine how I am in various aspects in order to apply my best efforts to making this new relationship work. I'm aware that I might need to do a lot of work to measure up, as perhaps previously being in such a long-term relationship has made me somewhat lazy or lacking in the proper manners expected of me. The woman I am seeing has very strong opinions about communication and insists that we message every day throughout the day. Okay. This has always felt rather out of the sorts for me, but she assured me that this is quite normal for any relationship and shows courtesy and respect. Recently, I had completely sleepless nights followed by a morning of very intense physical labor. By the afternoon, I felt extremely unwell, so quickly laid down and promptly fell asleep. Upon waking up, opening my messages, I found myself reading a series of extremely angry messages about how I had ghosted and ignored and disrespected my partner. I replied to acknowledge my error and apologize, letting her know I appreciated and understood how she felt and attempted to explain the situation to reassure and articulate what had happened. I also pointed out that she had not messaged me at all that day, and what I found when I found it confusing that I was being expected to act in a way that she was not herself displaying. In hindsight, I regret doing this, but I admit to feeling rather under attack and reacted as such. Several days later, I was accused of emotional abuse because I had not messaged her before falling asleep the day that I fell very ill. My partner told me that if I had been her, she would have done so before laying down, and that my not doing so was blatant display of not caring about her. I was also told that saying I apologize is not the same as saying I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What? I apologize is the same thing. They're literally the same thing. I am not affat with modern the fuck? I don't know what that means. With modern dating etiquette, and I am horrified as a survivor of childhood abuse and with a traumatic brain injury as a result, that I might actually be guilty of emotional abuse and want to make efforts to ensure I do not do such thing. But am I struggling to understand? Can anybody help? Edit. Thank you so much for all your replies. A common theme among them is eye-opening, and to say the least, it confirms several of the words I have been caring about this person for the relationship. I am terribly sad when we're together. It is very warm and very loving and extremely easy, but it's as though we're a completely different person talking to me when we're apart and the communication occurs via messaging. So much that it has generally caused me no small amounts of confusion and concern. Yeah. So I guess a little tea about me. I was in a relationship where I had a partner constantly saying that I emotionally abused her, and it was very very hard. I don't. people make mistakes, right? So like this guy, he made a mistake. And I don't even think it's a mistake. He was just tired. It's not really a mistake to be tired. He forgot. I mean, the mistake is that he forgot to text her before he fell asleep. That's not a mistake, man. It's being a human. It's being tired. Um, like she overreacted. I can understand where she comes from, in a sort of way. Right? I could get it. You know, you don't hear from your partner, and you become worried. You become scared. You know, you didn't hear anything from them. You don't know if they're in the hospital or if something happened to them at work or whatever the case may be, and you may be overthinking, may worry. I could understand that, but to be upset and to be angry and to then put it on them and call them the abuser, or call them names or whatever it is, and tell them that they're always wrong for doing whatever they did, and then they try to fix it. I could get where he's coming from, because it's pretty messed up what she did. She's definitely not worth it. I definitely shouldn't be with her. Definitely should move on, go to date somebody else. Because she's not the right apple. She's definitely not the right apple. Um, she definitely needs some reflecting to do. I can now understand why she's only had relationships that only lasted between 2 years and a few months. Like, nobody wants to deal with that. Nobody wants it, especially, I don't know how long you guys been seeing each other for several months, and she's already calling you an emotional abuser. Like, for falling asleep, for not texting her because you fell asleep, because you were so tired, because you were working, you were fucking grinding. Like, nah, get the fuck out of here. Leave, don't look back while you can. Anyway, that'll be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoy. Leave a comment, subscribe. Let me know something, you know? I'm trying to figure this whole YouTube thing out. You know, I only got a few videos and I'm not doing so hot, but I'm doing my best. I'm doing another haunted history coming soon. Should be coming out next week. I already wrote the script. I already have everything. I already have the footage recorded. I just need to, I need to record my voiceover. So hopefully that'll become soon. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy. If that'll be it, see ya.